Hello, my name is William FAUCETTE, and I'm a Grand President with Vyvo. There's some exciting things happening with our company, and the person who sent you this video believes you could benefit from our business opportunity. I'm going to share information on the opportunity over the next 30 minutes, but before I do, it helps if you know who you're hearing from. I've been in direct selling for 28 years. I've been everything from a struggling representative at the beginning to a top earner in the field to a corporate executive. And ultimately, at my last company, I was one of the owners as well as the chief executive for a time for a company that did more than 120 million in sales at its height. I've been involved in government, traditional business, and the nonprofit arenas, but I believe that direct selling is the greatest industry in the world because it's the only industry where increasing your standard of living doesn't require decreasing your quality of life. Now, about 2 years ago, I was looking for my next project. I had stepped away from that last company, and I believed I'd stay on the corporate side of the industry, either starting a company or joining a management team. Then I was asked to take a look at Vyvo. I went out and was impressed enough that a short time later, in March of 2017, I got started with the company, but not as a corporate executive, instead as an independent business owner like you're being asked to consider doing here today. Now, the last 2 years have been outstanding. We've been blessed to create some significant success. However, I think that the future will be much bigger and far more lucrative than the past has been. And that same opportunity exists for you. So I'm going to share with you why we're so excited. But as I do, I'd like you to consider your goals and dreams. Vyvo is simply the vehicle that can help you make them a reality. So let me share my slides, and you can see you don't have to be high tech to be high check in this business. But the first thing that the company asks us to do is to review an income disclosure notice. They're very transparent. They want you to know that your success or lack thereof will largely depend upon you and your efforts. We want you to know that we have a step-by-step process that can create success if you follow it. It's done that for me and literally thousands of others around the world. But in starting a business, typically people do it because they want freedom, and usually freedom represents more money or more time or more of both together. That's certainly what it represents to me. And if that's your goal, something similar to that, Vyvo can definitely help you make it a reality. And like any business, Vyvo solves a challenge. And the challenge relates to health and wellness. Now, specifically, if you have younger children, you'll probably be dismayed to learn that their generation is the first in recorded history that's expected to have a shorter lifespan than its parents. And the reason is because of chronic illness and disease. As you can see, 1 in 3 people in the United States alone struggles with chronic illness. And the irony of that is that we live in the age of technology. Technology has improved everything. Our phones have become smartphones, TVs, smart TVs. We even have smart cars now that drive themselves. But we have yet to apply technology to our most important asset, that is our bodies and their health. Until now. The mission of Vyvo is to help us live healthier through technology. And of course, if you've chosen to participate in the business opportunity, you can live wealthier as well. And let me give you a sense of how we do that. We have a concept called Vyvo Smart. Now, historically, we've been known for wearable technology. For the last few years, we've been the industry leader in wearable bracelets. Ours do things that others simply don't, but we've recently expanded this concept. We've included DNA analysis and genetic testing, and we combine the DNA analysis with the real-time data. We run that through artificial intelligence, and the AI suggests customized solutions. Now, if you're like me, until recently, I hadn't heard anything positive about AI. It was typically something along the lines of the Terminator, robots are going to become aware and take over the world. But the fact is that AI truly can help us improve our lives. And here we have this patented process, patented technology that will suggest individualized solutions customized to you. Our first one is already available. It's in personalized nutrition. It's called the NutriPack. In the future, we will have similar solutions for anti-aging, skin health and care, as well as big data. And if you look at all of these, this is more than $4 trillion in combined revenue. Our one product, our one concept with Vyvo Smart can capture all of it. And I'm sure you'd agree with me that it doesn't take a whole lot of $4.5 trillion to be a whole lot of revenue for the company and a significant opportunity for you and I. So let's look at each of these areas, starting with our wearable technology. This is our third generation wearable device. You can see I'm wearing it. It's called the Hilo LX Plus. It goes far beyond what your typical wearable does. Usually a wearable device will measure your calories, your steps. It may also give you your heart rate. We do that, but we go significantly beyond to your breath rate, your mood, your sleep quality, energy levels. We can use third-party apps to take an EKG, your blood pressure, as well as blood oxygen level. We can monitor these and a number of additional functions and vitals in others through our Guardian function, and the device contains clinical grade sensor, so it's very accurate. Now, best of all, I mentioned third-party applications. That simply means developers make apps that run on our platform, the same concept that Apple and Google use to dominate the smartphone market. The difference is that here, you don't have to just be a consumer paying someone else for the privilege of using the technology. You can be a producer getting paid as it's accepted and takes off. Now, this technology is award-winning. It's been featured on local, regional, and national news shows, including the Today Show. It was ranked the #1 product in direct selling for 2017, and it was a featured product 2 years in a row at the Consumer Electronics Show, the largest technology show in the world. As good as it is, as award-winning as it is, unfortunately, it's no longer available. But before you get concerned, I'm very pleased to announce our 4th generation wearable bracelet. It's called the BioSense Band, and it is the result of a partnership between Vyvo and a company called Foxconn, which is the leading technology manufacturing company in the world. Its clients are a who's who in technology, some of the biggest and best companies in the world. They typically don't partner with companies the size of Vyvo. However, they've made an exception in this case because of the power of the technology. And the BioSense band goes even beyond what I just described for our 3rd generation band. It is thinner, it has a longer battery life, more storage capacity, and additional ability to monitor different functions and provide utility through the applications that will be available for it. So the BioSense band will be out in the next couple of months. We're very excited. We believe it's just the first of many products that result from the Foxconn partnership. But as good as it isn't our only wearable device. The second device is called the Vyvo Extends. The Extends is breakthrough technology. It is the first non-invasive sugar trend monitoring system in the world. Now, if you are familiar with sugar monitoring, those who have to monitor their blood sugar levels typically have to take one of these, which amounts to a pin, put it on a piece of paper, and stick it in something like this to get a reading of their blood sugar level. That is pretty much the same process that's existed for years and years. And again, it's ironic with technology being where it is, there's nothing better available until now. The Vyvo is non-invasive. It's the first of its type. All you do with the Vyvo is put your finger in it, here's mine, and you press a button on your smartphone and it comes back and gives you a reading. Now that is certainly a breakthrough for those who are tired of pricking their fingers and look out into the future and don't see any relief. So the Vyvo is generating a lot of excitement, and it allows us to create very compelling marketing messages like this one. Very exciting message, extremely exciting product. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks. It's very new. Here is an example of the kind of results I'm seeing. On the right side of your screen is a measurement I took with the traditional means. The left side is one that comes from the Extends and our sugar trend management system. You can see they're very close, just 4 points difference, and they were taken 2 minutes apart from each other so that you understand the way this industry works. Both of these devices are governed by regulations that say that they have to be within 20% of the actual number. And so it's very exciting to know that after just a few weeks of being available, the Extends is already less than 5% variance from one of the leading devices on the market. And it will only improve. It's why there's significant excitement. And it's just one part of our system, because the second part is DNA analysis. And so you may be familiar with DNA analysis because more and more people now are starting to do ancestry tests to know where they came from. But there are other applications as well. The first is drug sensitivity, to know which drugs you may have an adverse reaction to. For example, we heard a story about a gentleman who was diabetic. He assumed that the way he felt, which was often not that good, was a symptom of his disease. He took a drug sensitivity test and found that what he thought was a symptom of his disease was actually an adverse reaction to the medication prescribed to control it. He showed his doctor the results. His doctor changed the medication, and he described the change in the way he felt as life-changing. So that's the kind of impact that DNA analysis can have in this area. And I think that in the health and wellness area, it's even more applicable. Let me give you a sense of what we're able to do there. If you're a person who watches what you eat, tries to get enough sleep, supplements, and also exercises, but yet you don't look and feel the way that you should, you're probably a victim of a one-size-fits-all approach. People will often hear about something someone else is doing and try it without any recognition of the fact that it may work for them because their genetics are different. So the health and wellness test will give you pages of data, more than 20 pages, about what's optimal for you in exercise, how much cardio you should do versus resistance training, what you should eat in terms of percentages of your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It'll even look at supplementation and the things that you may want to be concerned about. For example, in my case, it alerted me to the fact that I have a predisposition to have a vitamin D deficiency. And I already knew that because blood tests that I've taken in the past have shown that I'm vitamin D deficient. And so my doctor will often say, just go get some sunshine or take some vitamin D as a supplement. So it was very gratifying for me to know that this test actually gave me that information, and it validated something that I already knew. And there are more than 20 pages of information here that you can utilize to develop your own personalized solutions that are based upon your genetics. But we don't stop there. As I mentioned, we also have customized solutions that we're able to create as well. And the first, which is already shipping, is called the NutriPack. Here's mine. I actually just got it yesterday. And you can see here, it has up to 100 ingredients. That's gluten-free, vegan, organic. I'll show you the list of my ingredients. 14 different ingredients are on mine. It's truly customized. This label is laser printed because there's not one like it, because it's made for me as an individual. And that is the true power of what we're able to do, in particular because we can also update it as time goes on. So there are a few companies doing genetic testing, but they're not able to do what we do. Frequently, they charge much more than we do with less customization. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say that next month, when the artificial intelligence generates the report that's used to create my NutriPack, it detects that my wearable band has reported a change in sleep quality. And so the artificial intelligence interprets that as a lack of sleep. It will then include something in my NutriPack to help me sleep. And let's say the month after that, I'm sleeping fine, it will take it out. And it will customize across a number of different variables. It doesn't matter if it's month 1 or month 101. So this product is constantly evolving based upon what our bodies are saying. Very exciting. Nothing on the market like it. And there also is a significant company that stands behind these products. It's 7 years old. It operates worldwide. It's the first company that I've seen in direct selling that operates in almost every country in the world. I've been able to build a pretty significant organization that is international in scope, working out of my home over the last few years. And as I mentioned, the company has already received significant accolades in the form of news stories, awards. It's ranked one of the best companies in direct selling. And also, for those of you who, like me, are bottom line oriented, we have over $600 million in sales over the last 5 years. Now, all of this is the brainchild of our CEO and founder, Mr. Fabio Galdi. He's the gentleman that I first met with back in 2017 when I took a look at Vyvo. And I had met with Fabio as a colleague. He was CEO of Vyvo. I had just stepped down as CEO of a company that was just about comparable in size. And so I was able to take a look at what he was doing. I was very impressed. I was impressed with his vision, but also I was impressed with his ability to make that vision a reality. See, for me, vision is necessary but not sufficient. I won't follow anyone without it, but I won't follow someone just because they have it. In Fabio's case, he's also a scientist. And so I believe that he could keep the company positioned on the cutting edge, and he certainly has shown his ability to do that. I've explained a number of the areas where we've innovated in recent times, and this is just the beginning. Fabio's goal is to run a multi-billion-dollar company that presents very significant benefit for you and I. And that benefit comes because we don't advertise. We use the best way to get a customer, that is referral or word of mouth. And so there's a business opportunity here that you can utilize to achieve your goals. It's very simple. So if you're thinking, well, there may be something here and you're intrigued, the first thing to understand is that we're unique in direct marketing in that we don't charge people to become independent representatives or business owners with us. You simply fill out an agreement and then you can market the products and the business opportunity. But for those who are serious and looking to get started with us, we obviously recommend that you become a product of our product. There are a couple of ways to do that. Our Vyvo Smart Kit is the first. It includes a number of products. Our DNA sample kit, that's what you use to actually take your DNA swab. It also includes the genetic test, so you can get the DNA analyzed. You get the Smart Life Pro subscription. I'll describe that in a moment, but the most significant product that comes with that is the NutriPack, so the customized nutrition. And finally, you get a significant discount on the BioSense band. So taken together, all of the products that are included would be about $625. So there's significant savings here, more than $250 by getting them together. But for those who are really focused on getting off to a fast start, I recommend the Builder Pack. The Builder Pack is what you've just seen, but more of it. You get 2 of the smart kits that we just reviewed, plus a third for your use, which includes not 1 month of our Smart Life Pro subscription, but 3. So you'd get 3 months of the NutriPack and the other features included in this product. It's over almost $800 in savings. And so again, for those who either want to have a little bit of inventory that they can give to their new people who get started, or simply want to include their loved ones in the products, the Builder Pack is a great way to start. Now, I mentioned the subscription plans, and understand that you have a subscription with us so that you can get the monitoring of our wearable technology. It includes all the reports that you can, for example, take to your doctor. So rather than suffering from white coat syndrome, which means you get nervous like I do when you go to the doctor and they take a measurement, and so my blood pressure spikes and my heart rate speeds up, and it doesn't really give him useful information. I instead can take weeks of data that shows him exactly what my blood pressure, heart rate, any EKGs I've taken, my blood oxygen level, everything that I've talked about, I can take that in and he can see that. Now, you also can add to these plans our rewards program. It's called the loyalty program, and every month that you pay for it, you actually get points that you can use on Vyvo products. So that's very significant, but for a little bit more, you can get the NutriPack included, and that's why I recommend the Smart Life Pro subscription program. It includes everything that we've talked about, all the reporting, the monitoring of yourself and others, plus the customized nutrition. It's very powerful, and you'll see as we go forward, it also can be very lucrative on the business side as well. And that then leads us into analyzing the compensation plan, just giving you a few key points to understand how you can use this as a vehicle to make a part-time, serious part-time, or even full-time income by working with us. So there are 5 basic income streams with our company, a number of ways the company pays, but they all fall into one of these 5 income streams. The first is a retail income stream. So we just reviewed a couple of options in terms of product packages. There are a number of additional products. They range from about $45 to the $1,500 you saw. And know that if you refer someone to this information and they choose to buy something, whether they're a customer or a business partner, you'll get paid a retail income stream. It amounts to 10% of whatever they've spent. And again, that can become a very nice part-time income. But as you start referring people and they choose to build a business, you'll also get an income stream that comes from supporting them. You can help them get off to initial start with our help as well and get paid bonuses. And as your team grows, you ultimately can access a check match program, which will pay you up to 10% of their largest income stream over 10 levels or generations of representatives. So that's very exciting. The biggest income stream, though, comes from business building. So I mentioned that we refer people who may be interested in the business. Your first goal is to identify 2 people that are overworked and underpaid, or maybe just want to make extra income. We build 2 organizations. We call it the left and the right team. They do the same thing. We support them both, but they grow independently. Well, you're going to get paid 20% of all the sales volume that gets generated on the smaller of those 2 teams. That typically, as I said, is the biggest income stream here, and that is where you can get the check match on the people in your organization as well. Now, as your team grows, you can earn benefits as well. As you advance in our career path or compensation plan, you can earn luxury travel, jewelry, even a monthly car allowance. And finally, all of our representatives are able to participate in a bonus or profit sharing program. You can earn an additional 1% of the team volume commission or the sales volume on the smaller of your 2 teams when your annual renewal date comes. So again, a very exciting compensation plan. We take you through this step by step, so you don't need to know all of it now. I do want to give you a sense of the potential. And understand, guys, this is just an example. You saw our income disclosure, which says that your efforts will depend upon, or your results will depend upon your efforts. But I just want to give you a sense of what can happen for you. And we mentioned we build in 2. So if you get started and in your first month, you help 2 people get started in the business, we're working with them, but you're participating in that process. We teach them to do the same thing. And in the second month, those 2 turn into 4. And then the third month, 4 turn into 8. fourth month 16, etc., you can see that over a year's time, you can build an organization that ultimately contains over 4,000 people. Now, again, this is just an example. That is not typical, but I can tell you there are a number of us here with Vyvo that have built significantly larger organizations, and there is upfront income that's available as you do that. Every time someone comes in and buys a product, upfront bonuses are paid. However, we're building this to earn residual income. If you're not familiar with residual, the simplest way to understand it, it's getting paid over and over for doing something once. The best example that I've heard of residual used to be Elvis Presley, because his heirs still get paid every time one of his records plays, even though he's been gone for decades. I say it used to be the best example because the new best example is Michael Jackson, because I heard last year that his heirs made $400 million. And he's been gone for several years now, but every time something happens that involves his name or one of his records, they're able to get paid. That's true long-term income, getting paid for what you start. And I just want to show you one example. If we're able to build that team for you that has over 4,000 people, if you look at just the Smart Life Pro subscription potential of that, you get paid $10 per customer or representative per month on the smaller of your two teams. So in this example, if you had over 4,000 representatives, that would yield over $20,000 in residual income on a monthly basis. That would be your monthly run rate. It would continue to grow as your organization did as well. So that gives you a sense of the potential. In my experience in the industry, I've never seen a product pay $10 per customer per month. So it's very exciting, and it's an example of what you can create over time and with hard work and our help. Now, we also have an incentive to get going right away. The company is running a promotion until the middle of April that allows us to earn additional commissions. Instead of 20%, we're able to get up to 25% potentially for a whole year. So the person who invited you here can explain more about how that works. Suffice it to say that it's an incentive to get started now, because you can get started now, then help the people that you're thinking of get started as well. Thereby you and they can benefit from this promotion. And that returns us to where we started. We started with you and your goals. If you've seen an opportunity, I encourage you to take action. I know names are running through your head. I've done this presentation or one like it for tens of thousands of people over the years, and they typically react in the same way. They think about all the people they know who may be interested. Understand, your job is not to sell or convince. We don't do that. Your job is not even to present. Think about how much work the person who sent you this presentation is doing as I present it. They're just leveraging my expertise. You can do that as well. We'll present to your people. We'll answer questions. We'll enroll them if they see opportunity. We'll train them and teach them to do the same thing that you've done. Through that process, we can build you a large and potentially lucrative marketing organization while you're just working with a few people learning as you earn. So to give you a sense of the opportunity you're presented, I want to end with a story. It's a story about my son. His name is Daniel. He's now 10 years old. But back when Daniel was 7, we were out for ice cream, and I could see that he was lost in thought. And so I asked him what he was thinking about, and he told me he was thinking about the car he was going to drive when he got older. And I asked him to tell me more. He explained in great detail. A Porsche Panamera, described it inside and out. Then he moved on to the house he was going to live in, similar detail. And finally, at 7 years old, he started describing the woman he was going to marry. And his brother, who was with my wife and his sister watching amused, finally said, "Hey, why are you thinking about this? You're only 7. And he looked back at him and he said, because in order to have a life, you have to plan a life. And so I would say to you, in order to make those goals that I got you thinking about when we started a reality, you have to have a plan. I believe that Vyvo represents the best plan that you're likely to see. If you think similarly, take action, get started. We will work with you to help ensure that this is a success for you. And as I wrap up, let me say that we repeat this presentation live several times a week. I look forward to meeting you back on a live presentation, not as a guest, but as a representative with guests of your own. Thank you very much. Again, my name is William Faucette, Grand President here with Vyvo. Have a great day and God bless.